Good morning, Trucker Todd here. Today we're going to do a video we haven't done in a while, a rant video. And this rant video is brought to you by, I'm not going to mention his name in this video because he does mention Roadrunner, but it applies to pretty much any company I've ever worked for, whether trucking related or not. So that's why I didn't put Roadrunner in the title. And it comes from the guy, he's a viewer of mine. I've mentioned his name in the past. We've never talked on the phone, we've never met in person, but he always sends me really good emails. I don't say always, when he does, they're really good emails. And so in this video, I'm going to read that email to you. We'll discuss it and go from there. All right, here we go. And we're back. Before we get started, couple of things. During this past week, I hadn't done a lot of videos, been really busy. Met one of the viewers at the Dallas yard. I'm not going to use his name on here because I didn't have permission, but it was great to meet him. Nice guy. He caught me at the end of a pre-trip, so we didn't get to talk very long, but hopefully I'll run into him again and can talk to him a little longer. But I know he said he's a subscriber and he watches, so just wanted to say hi to you again. It was nice to meet you. Next time you see my truck, maybe I can buy you a hamburger and we can hang out for a little bit or whatever. But anyway, it was good to see him. Also, you guys make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. If you're not, go ahead and do that. You'll notice in the description below, there's a bell notification after you click subscribe. That way you can be notified when future videos comes out. It's free to do. Also, give me a thumbs up while you're down there. If you scroll a little further down, I've got a link there for if you'd like to apply at Roadrunner, doing LTL like I do. As you guys know, I like it very much. And so that'll be there. Also my email if you want to contact me directly. And also the ability to leave comments if you'd like to leave comments. Only thing I ask, try to keep things respectful. We can agree to disagree, but let's try to keep things respectful, not do any name calling or anything like that. Alrighty, so now let's look at today's subject. Like I said, this guy is a guy I think a lot of. Really smart guy. He's been driving, I want to say like 40, 45 years. Only been at Roadrunner a few months. He has commented in the past. I didn't get his permission to use his name in this video, but I think I have his permission to read his email, so that's what we're going to do. Now, he wrote this on May the 10th. My wife's birthday was May 8th, and he makes reference to her. And so let's jump right in. He says, "Hey Todd, first happy birthday to your lovely wife and a happy Mother's Day. I have talked to a few Roadrunner drivers and I'm sorely disappointed in what I've heard. When talking about trailers, we talked about how bad of shape some of the trailers are. And I asked if they had called it into maintenance or 24/7 or anyone." Okay, let's think about that for a second. As I said, I've experienced this at every single company I've ever drove a truck for, and even companies that weren't related to trucking. I remember out of high school when I worked at fast food, it was common for one shift to blame another shift. The closers didn't do this, the openers didn't do that. And so I wouldn't relate this straight to Roadrunner as much as I would all trucking companies. But basically what he's talking about is we do almost all drop and hook in this LTL division. You show up, I had it happen in Livermore a couple of months ago. I've got a flat tire off the rim. Now, a couple of failures took place here. For one, the driver that dropped the trailer, let's assume that he knew. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it went flat. Maybe he ran over a nail in the parking lot and it bled down over time. But if he did know, all he would have had to do is send an email to maintenance. They could have got that fixed. When I got there, I could have been on my way. But let's say it bled down. The other scenario could be yard guys, because it was off the rim, so it got driven that way a little bit, probably tight cornering and backing, things like that. So you got to wonder why the yard guys didn't report it. So it could have got fixed. And I think this video is going to be a little critical of yard guys, not just at Roadrunner, but everywhere. So I got there. It took 2 or 3 hours to get it fixed by the time they got a repair guy out. And I know it's a hassle to send an email and deal with these things, but you have to remember that what goes around comes around. If you're the kind of guy that's dropping trailers with lights out and flat tires, eventually you're going to be the recipient of a trailer with flat tires or lights out or things like that. And what's funny to me about all of this is these same drivers, and you'll see in a minute in his comments, these same drivers that are complaining about trailers that are damaged and stuff not getting reported, and I'm not referring to the author of this email in this statement, are the ones that say, oh, we need a trucker strike. We need a trucker strike. Us truckers need to stand together. Well, part of standing together is not leaving each other in a bind. If you see something, even if it's not your trailer, if you're walking through the yard and you see a trailer that needs fixing, report it to somebody so that they can get to work on it. It takes 5 minutes of your time, and it could really make a big difference in somebody else's load, and maybe eventually even your load. Okay, so let's keep going. He says 100% of the drivers I've talked to said they don't have time and it wasn't their job, or numerous other excuses. So here he's basically verifying what I'm saying about these guys. Oh, it's not my problem. My trailer's fine. I'm going to go on down the road. While we're talking about this, let's talk about pre-trips and post-trips and the importance of those. I know I get sick of hearing people talk about pre-trips and post-trips too, but this is your safety. If you're going to pull something down the highway, don't you want to have brakes that work, tires that are good? Don't you want to get that stuff fixed so you're not sitting on the side of the road several hours waiting for repairs? Forget about DOT for a minute. Just think about your safety. Is this not important to you? And I'm amazed at how many people don't check their trucks out at all. I'm amazed at how many people that'll call me, hey Todd, I'm not making money, I need help. And I've asked him, I had one guy, he didn't even know how to open his settlements. He didn't even know. I was like, well, send me one of your settlements, I'll look at it, I'll tell you what the problem is. He didn't know how to open his settlement. He's like, how do I get into settlements? So if he doesn't know that, he doesn't know what it costs him to run, his cost per mile. He doesn't know what his fuel's costing him. I've got an app I use that helps me determine the cheapest places to buy fuel with IFTA and all that factored in. Any of you guys want that app, shoot me an email or drop me a comment below. I'll send you the link. I may even put it in the description below. You never know. But make sure you check below. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll put it in the description below. And then hopefully that'll help some of you guys learning where to buy fuel and things like that. So he says, I tried telling them that is why the trailers are in such bad shape, to no avail. So like I said about this guy, and this is why this is now his second email that made it into my videos, because he's a very, very smart guy, and his emails are always well thought out. I've never once read one of his emails and thought, here's a bonehead. I always think, man, this guy is on his game. And truth be told, I know he does really well here at Roadrunner, but a guy this smart would probably do well at 80% of the companies out there. There's a few that they're designed for you to fail, but this guy's smart, he's a hard worker, and I think he would do good just about anywhere. And I'm glad he's here at Roadrunner because I think he's a great representative of the company. And it says, he says, looks like they just want to check and not a company to be proud of. And I think that's true not only at Roadrunner, but like I said, at a lot of trucking companies. A lot of these guys are just out for themselves. What can they get? And they're not thinking of anybody else but themselves. And we all suffer in that situation because, like I said, eventually you're going to be the recipient of a trailer that somebody dropped in that condition, and you're going to be held up 2 to 4 hours. And this could all be avoided, or at least most of it could be avoided, if we just tried to watch each other's back. I kind of remember in the old days, I say old days, I started December 3rd of 96, that this was back before cell phones. If you broke down, people would pull over on the side of the road and say, hey, you need some water? Anything I can help you fix? Now you're lucky if they even ask you on the CB if you need anything. Most of them won't even move over to the passing lane to give you any room. You got to hope they don't run over you while you're on the shoulder. So it's that, some of it's electronic logs, which I don't even really understand that argument. All that does is require you to run legal. And had we all been doing that all along, we wouldn't need electronic logs. Now, not saying that I haven't ever stretched a little in the past. I think everybody has. But it's just, I hear all this whining and crying about logbooks, and I don't know if it's justified or not. But let's keep going. I don't want to make this a long video. Let's see here. He said, being that I'm not a media person, I thought of you. I thought you might like to make a video about company pride and the responsibilities of a truck driver. It's not just holding a steering wheel. But of course, you know all this. It really makes me sad to think that people really think this way. Even rant, enough ranting. I hope and pray that you and your wife have a blessed and great Mother's Day. And then he put his name and driver number. So we could take that pride thing a little further. Let's think, I just got out of the shower, and how many of these guys, we've all been behind them in the truck stop, that they hadn't had a shower in 2 weeks. They stink. I was behind a guy, or not even behind him. I was walking down the hall in a Love's the other day on my way to the bathroom. This guy walked by me, and he was like that stinky guy on Charlie Brown, Pigpen. He stunk. And I made a comment to my wife, like, man, I would get him a shower if he wanted one. I'd use my Love's card and I'd get him a shower, because he stinks. And so I don't know what the answer is in this area. Maybe you guys got some ideas. It's hard for these guys to have pride in the company they work for when they don't even have pride in themselves. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. It's a short day for me. I've only got about 4 hours to drive, so I'm going to get on down the road. And I really hope you guys have subscribed. Next week, my truck is going to be in the shop to get that body work done. I'm going to be at a hotel, it looks like. And so there'll probably be a few videos next week about the truck and what's going on and things like that. I do got a few little things to do. I'm going to put spark plugs in my pickup and things like that. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.